The film begins with a family driving through Aswan, Egypt, while the father named Gamal sings an Arabic song with the children. However, the mother, a magician, suddenly turns off the music, saying the noise is giving her a headache. After reaching home, their little daughter Layla finds her pet bird bleeding to death. Disturbed, the magician quickly takes the bird away and fearfully looks at her husband before telling the children to stay upstairs. Later, the couple goes to a secret underground chamber beneath their farm, built over a black pyramid. Inside the chamber is a black basalt sarcophagus, which is said to be a prison for a demon. Then Gamal carefully opens the sarcophagus. Then the magician looks inside and confirms that the mummy is still there. The husband asks if it is awake, but at that moment the candle flame fades away. The magician quickly relights it and says they are safe. Suddenly, the mummy awakens and triggers a mechanism that snaps, and one of the large iron hooks swings down through Gamal's throat, killing him instantly. In the next scene, we are introduced to the Cannon family living in Cairo, Egypt. The father, Charlie Cannon, works as a TV news reporter, while his wife Larissa Cannon is pregnant with their third child. They already have two children named Katie and Sebastian. One day, Larissa leaves for work while Charlie stays home with the kids. Then Katie goes outside to play in the garden by herself. At the moment, Charlie receives good news that he has been promoted and can finally move back to New York. Excited, he immediately calls Larissa and shares the good news. Meanwhile, while Katie is playing alone in the garden, the magician approaches her and introduces herself as Layla's mother. She tells Katie that Layla is sick and could not come to play today. The magician then shows Katie a magic trick and gives her favorite chocolate. Back inside the house, Charlie notices many candy wrappers hidden inside Katie's dollhouse. He asks Sebastian where Katie got all the candy from. Sebastian reveals that Katie has been secretly meeting a friend near the end of the garden who gives them treats. Outside, the magician tells Katie she has one final treat for her and hands her an apple, claiming it came from her own garden. As Katie takes the apple, the magician suddenly casts a spell, causing a beetle to crawl out of the apple and into Katie's throat. Katie collapses and begins choking. At the same time, Charlie rushes outside and notices Katie has disappeared and finds the garden fence broken. He rushes outside searching for Katie and spots a woman carrying Katie away. Charlie chases after them, but a massive sandstorm suddenly sweeps through the area, causing Charlie to lose sight of the woman who disappears along with Katie. At the police station, the chief asks a female officer trainee named Zaki if she can speak fluent English because a foreign couple has reported their daughter missing. The Cannon family shows Katie's photo and candy wrappers he found, believing the person who kidnapped Katie had been giving her candy. However, the chief suspects the parents might be involved in Katie's disappearance, which makes Charlie angry. He denies everything and insists someone kidnapped their daughter, demanding the police take action immediately. The story then shifts 8 years after Katie's disappearance. The Cannon family has moved to Albuquerque, New Mexico, but Charlie and Larissa still have not recovered from losing Katie. They now have a third child named Maud, and they are living with Larissa's mother, Carmen. All of them are having dinner when Sebastian brings up a school trip to Europe, but Larissa refuses and says he is not allowed to go. Sebastian tells his parents that they never let him go anywhere. He adds that the family has not even taken a single trip together since Katie went missing. Larissa responds that her decision is final. Hearing this, Sebastian leaves the table. In the next scene, a young boy is fixing his bicycle when suddenly a plane crashes nearby. Shocked, the boy enters the nearby woods and finds the wreckage of the crashed flight. Then he comes across the bodies of 2 dead pilots, which terrifies him and he tries to run away, but he trips and falls. The boy discovers the same sarcophagus that was shown earlier in the movie. Later, 2 archaeologists recover the sarcophagus and are shocked that it is still intact. When they open it, they find a body wrapped in parchment covered with inscriptions. As they carefully remove the wrapping, they discover it is the body of a young girl who appears to have been dead for many years. Just as they assume she is lifeless, the girl suddenly wakes up and screams in terror. The story shifts back to the Cannon family. Suddenly, Charlie gets a call from the U.S. Embassy in Cairo. The counselor tells him that his daughter, Katie, has been found alive. The couple travels to Cairo, Egypt, where a doctor warns them that Katie's body shows signs of extreme malnutrition and lack of sunlight. When Charlie and Larissa finally see Katie after 8 years, they are devastated by her condition. The doctor says the scratches on her body are self-inflicted. Despite her condition, her heart is healthy and she remains physically strong. He believes the best thing for her recovery is to return home and be surrounded by family comfort. Meanwhile, Zaki, who is now a promoted police officer, has been assigned to Katie's case. She shows the family the sarcophagus Katie was being transported in when the plane crashed. Zaki believes Katie may have been trafficked because smugglers often hide people or illegal items inside tombs and sarcophaguses to avoid detection. Charlie remembers Zaki from years ago and reminds her how the police once suspected him in Katie's disappearance, and Zaki admits that was her former boss's opinion and that he has since died. Charlie tells her to do a better job this time and find out who really did this to his daughter. Back home, Carmen prepares cakes to welcome granddaughter Katie back. Soon, Charlie and Larissa return with Katie, and the whole family emotionally gathers around. They carry her to a bedroom and place her on the bed. Carmen immediately begins praying for her, while Maud nervously tries speaking to Katie for the first time. However, Sebastian feels disturbed by Katie's condition and refuses to talk to her. As Carmen continues praying, Katie suddenly becomes agitated and violently smashes her head to Carmen, injuring her nose. Moments later, she starts having a seizure and begins screaming. Panicking, Larissa quickly grabs an injection and injects Katie, finally calming her down. Later that night, Charlie discovers Katie is missing from her bed. He quickly wakes Larissa and asks where she is, whereas Maud and Sebastian hear noises from the vent. So Sebastian grabs a baseball bat and approaches the vents after hearing noises coming from inside. Soon the couple gathers in the room while Sebastian warns them that someone is crawling through the walls. Larissa checks the vent and sees Katie crawling inside it. She follows her while Charlie enters the vents from Katie's bedroom and eventually reunites with Larissa inside. There, they discover Katie eating a live scorpion. The next day, Charlie locks the vent in Katie's room to stop her from crawling inside again, and he also notices the wooden floor under the carpet has started rotting. Meanwhile, Larissa and Carmen try grooming Katie and notice her nails have grown unnaturally long. While trimming Katie's nails, Larissa struggles and cuts one. It tears off a chunk of Katie's skin. Hearing Larissa scream, Charlie rushes in and finds Larissa and Carmen on the floor, while Katie has disappeared again. Charlie immediately runs off to search for her. While searching for Katie, Charlie spots her running away from him. He then notices blood outside the bathroom and rushes in, only to find Katie poking her wound with a fire poker, scaring Charlie. Later, Lissa bandages Katie's wounds, while Charlie tells her they should consider placing Katie in a medical facility, saying her condition is dangerous and they are not trained to handle it. Larissa refuses, saying she will not send her daughter away after finally getting her back. They argue, with Charlie then admits that he knows she blames him for Katie's disappearance, even if she never says it directly, but reminds Larissa that although he was there the day Katie vanished, she was Katie's mother and never realized her daughter had a secret friend waiting at the end of the garden who had been secretly giving her candies. Feeling hurt, Larissa goes into Katie's room. Charlie goes to the bathroom to get Katie's wheelchair, but there he notices a piece of skin hanging from her injured leg with strange markings written on it. Shocked, he takes it to the basement and carefully separates the tissue, discovering ancient scripture covering the skin. The next morning, Charlie visits Professor Bixler, a linguistics expert, and shows him the writings. After examining them, Bixler explains that the text is written in hieratic, one of the earliest cursive scripts from ancient Egypt. However, he cannot immediately understand the full meaning. Charlie asks Bixler to help decipher the writing. When the professor asks why Charlie is interested in it, Charlie avoids telling the truth and simply says that it is a private matter. That night, Charlie sits beside Katie and breaks down seeing her condition. While hugging her, he notices she is grinding her teeth in a strange pattern. Realizing it sounds like Morse code, he quickly writes it down and decodes the name Layla. Charlie immediately calls Zaki and tells her about the name. Zaki says the name alone is not enough because there could be many people with that name. She asks if anyone named Layla ever contacted them during Katie's disappearance. Then Charlie opened a trunk in the basement filled with old letters they received after Katie disappeared. At the same time, Maud wakes up at night to use the bathroom. While returning to her room, she hears Katie softly singing a lullaby. Curious, Maud walks closer, and Katie suddenly tells her that she can speak now and asks her to keep it a surprise. Suddenly, Katie begins licking Maud's toes from underneath the door. Terrified, Maud tries to run away, but Katie uses a supernatural force to stop her. Maud starts choking, levitating into the air, and gets violently dragged against the door. At the same time, Charlie finally finds a letter from a girl named Layla Khalil, claiming to be Katie's best friend. He immediately informs Zaki, who traces the postcard to a remote desert area near Aswan, close to where the crashed plane originated. The officers discover the location is near a nectarine farm, and Zaki rushes and sees the same fruit appearing in evidence from the crash scene. In the following scene, Professor Bixler finally manages to translate the strange scripture and explains that the writings are part of ceremonial bindings used in ancient rituals. He reveals that one word is repeated throughout every piece, Nazmaranian. To help Charlie understand, the professor plays an old lecture recording from Cairo University. Charlie learns that the Nazmaranian was an ancient demon feared in Egypt long ago. It was known as the destroyer of families. Nazmaranian turned family members against each other, driving them to hurt and even kill one another. The evil spread from one person to another like a disease, causing entire communities to collapse in fear and violence. However, around 2000 BC, all records of the creature suddenly disappeared. Ancient stories claim the demon had either vanished or been trapped through a powerful ritual. Professor Bixler warns Charlie that the inscriptions are actually words of protection meant to keep the Nazmaranians sealed away. Meanwhile, Katie gains control over Maud. At school, Maud suddenly curses at her teacher, which results in her getting expelled. Meanwhile, Zaki arrives at the remote nectarine farm searching for Layla Khalil. Finding nobody inside, she secretly enters and eventually discovers a pyramid. As she searches, she finds a hidden door leading to an underground chamber. At the same time, the magician is seen returning home. Meanwhile, inside the dark chamber, Zaki finds the exact place where Katie's sarcophagus had been kept. After coming back upstairs, Zaki notices a door open. She pulls out her gun and spots the magician in another room. Zaki orders her to surrender, but the woman tries to attack her with a cleaver, forcing Zaki to shoot her. While questioning her about Katie, Zaki notices a young girl nearby who immediately starts running away. Zaki chases after her until the girl reaches a cliffside and begins digging into the ground. Zaki finally catches up and orders her to raise her hands. Instead, the girl pulls out a small box from the dirt and places it on the ground. When Zaki asks if she is Layla, the girl quietly says yes. Zaki opens the box and discovers a tape inside labeled with Katie's name. Meanwhile, Carmen goes into Katie's room and starts praying for her. Suddenly, Katie bites Carmen's hand. Terrified, Carmen tries to escape, but the bedroom door suddenly locks itself. Before she can react, Katie appears behind her and throws Carmen straight through the house window, just as Charlie is arriving home in his car. Carmen crashes onto the vehicle, leaving everyone horrified. However, Maud strangely starts laughing. Larissa hears the chaos and rushes upstairs, only to find Katie on her bed. Outside, Charlie desperately tries to get out and help Carmen, but a pack of coyotes suddenly gathers around them. Larissa watches in complete horror as the animals brutally attack her mother while she is still alive. Meanwhile, Zaki watches the tape and learns that the magician planned to transfer an ancient evil from one body to another. The tape explains that a child's body is the best vessel because it lasts longer, though any living human could be used. Zaki then goes to question Layla, but the girl cannot speak because her tongue was cut out by her own mother after she once tried to tell the truth. Layla explains that Katie was never meant to leave the sarcophagus, but because the farm was about to flood, her brothers were forced to move the mummy, leading to the plane crash. Layla then writes down details about the evil entity for Zaki. Realizing the danger, Zaki quickly leaves Charlie a voice message telling him she needs to see him immediately to show him something important. And it's Carmen's memorial. People discuss how she supposedly fell from the window while cleaning the curtains. Meanwhile, Charlie sits outside Katie's locked room until Sebastian tells him that Larissa is looking for him. Charlie goes downstairs, and Larissa finally admits that bringing Katie home may have been a mistake. While alone on the stairs, Sebastian hears Katie softly knocking and begging him not to leave her alone. She asks him to unlock the door so she can join the memorial gathering. Terrified, Sebastian rushes to his room and puts on headphones, but Katie's voice still reaches him through them. At the same time, Maud begins pulling out her own teeth one by one under Katie's supernatural influence. She then notices Katie escaping through the rotten ceiling connected to her room. Maud walks to Carmen's coffin, removes her grandmother's dentures, and puts them into her own bloody mouth. She shows herself to Charlie and Larissa, leaving them completely shocked. Moments later, Maud violently attacks a guest and rips at his ears before her parents manage to stop her. At the same time, Katie jumps into Carmen's casket. Larissa rushes over and is horrified to see Katie biting into Carmen's neck. Embodying fluid begins pouring from Carmen's neck while Katie licks it from the floor in front of the terrified memorial guests, leaving everyone disgusted and horrified. After that, Katie is kept restrained in a wheelchair while Charlie watches her closely. At the same time, Sebastian is completely under Katie's control and keeps banging his head violently against the bed. Suddenly, the doorbell rings. Larissa opens the door and finds Zaki. Zaki says she has brought an important tape that will explain everything about Katie's situation. She plays the tape. In the recording, the magician reveals the truth. She explains that their family has been responsible for sealing an ancient demon called the Nazmaranian. To keep it trapped, they have been sacrificing outsiders for many generations. The tape shows a ritual of the 80-second mummification process, and the recording to teach the next generation how to seal the demon. In this ceremony, young Katie is placed on top of a former mummy as part of the sealing ritual. At the same time, in the present, Katie uses her control over Sebastian and makes him enter her room through ventilation. There, he helps her remove her skin, and together they tear off the protective parchments from her body. These parchments are actually sacred inscriptions meant to keep the demon sealed. Meanwhile, the video continues, showing the magician chanting as the demon emerges from the mummy's mouth and transfers into Katie's body as a new vessel. The parchments are then wrapped around Katie to contain the demon, and she is placed inside the sarcophagus to stay sealed underground. After watching this, Charlie and Larissa are left completely horrified. Upstairs, Katie is briefly freed by Sebastian and removes the protective parchments from her body, making the demon inside Katie now fully awake and free. Larissa rushes upstairs to her daughter, followed by Zaki, while Charlie is still stunned by everything that happened to Katie. He then notices Carmen, who has somehow come back to life, and invites him to feast on her. Terrified, Charlie quickly runs upstairs. There, a fully possessed Katie violently attacks Charlie. Larissa and Zaki try to stop her, but Katie quickly knocks Zaki unconscious and also hits Larissa as well. Larissa tries to grab a sedative to calm Katie, but Sebastian suddenly turns against her and attacks her with a bat, forcing her to run away through a vent while Sebastian follows her. Zaki regains consciousness and is terrified to find Carmen's lifeless body standing above her. Carmen then takes a scorpion out of her own mouth and forces the scorpion into Zaki's mouth. The scorpion stabs Zaki's throat and tries to crawl out again, but Zaki quickly forces her hand into her mouth and pulls it out just in time. At the same time, Larissa sneaks up behind Sebastian and injects him with a sedative, knocking him unconscious. Meanwhile, Charlie is trying to escape from Katie when he meets Zaki and asks if she remembers the chanting from the tape. Zaki confirms she does, and they hide inside a room as Katie continues to pursue them. Katie forces the door open and attacks Charlie again, while Zaki begins chanting the ancient ritual, struggling because of her throat injury. Despite the pain, she continues chanting loudly while Charlie holds Katie down. Eventually, Larissa arrives, and Charlie apologizes to her. Finally, the Nazmaranian demon leaves Katie's body and enters Charlie instead, making him the new vessel. Then Katie wakes up and returns to normal. Katie recognizes her mother, asking about her father, who is now unconscious beside her. Sometime later, Katie, now healthier, begins to communicate with Charlie through Morse code while he is now trapped inside a coffin in the basement. At first, there is no response, but then Charlie answers and tells his family that he loves them. Later, Katie plays with her siblings, while Larissa watches emotionally. In Egypt, Zaki receives a call from Larissa wanting to discuss about Charlie. The story shifts to a prison where the magician is revealed to still be alive. A staff member approaches and injects her with something, but it is actually Larissa in disguise. Then Zaki arrives with Charlie in a wheelchair and locks the door. Zaki then begins chanting the ritual that will transfer the demon out of Charlie and into the magician instead, and the movie ends. And that wraps up Lee Cronin's The Mummy. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell for more chilling movie stories. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.